Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. And we're pleased to be joined by Brayton Laster, of course, who will be driving for Mullins Racing in the 03 car at Daytona. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. I mean, definitely super hyped about this opportunity with William Mullins and Dinah Mullins in the ARCA Menard series. Gonna be my debut in the ARCA Menard series, so pretty cool opportunity for sure for a small town dirt track boy like me.
Yeah. So basically just tell a little bit about yourself for people that may not know about you.
So yeah, I don't think a whole lot of people know about me, especially I'm focused on the dirt world. But I started racing go-karts when I was 8 years old at the Indianapolis Speedrome here in Indianapolis, which is a flat 5 mile asphalt track. And when I was 12 years old, me and my dad went and we bought a $600 Thunder car race ready. And it was an absolute turd, but I loved it. And we raced it. And I mean, you don't get much more like grassroots short track racing than that. It was a 77 Ford Thunderbird. And I was 12 years old racing against guys that are 30, 40, 50 years old. I wasn't supposed to be out there, but we were. And from there, we just kind of moved up the ranks a little bit. The speed drum out there is big with figure eight racing, and I did some figure eight stuff out there too, which is, for those of you that aren't aware, is there's a little intersection in the middle of the track, and you have 20 or 30 cars trying to bob and weave through that, and these are like full blown outlaw, like late models, like 30, 40, $50,000 late models right here racing against and trying to bob and weave. So that was awesome. And then when I was 15 years old, we decided to make the move to dirt because we looked at our options, and we're a small team. We tried to do the best we can with a small budget, and we thought the best way for me to make it would be dirt. We can be competitive but not spend as much money. And we had a lot of support from CJ Rayburn, who lived down here in Whiteland, and he was a big mentor to me and helped me get my career started in dirt. And unfortunately, he passed away here a couple weeks ago. But I mean, he was huge in our progress and where we got started. And we went out to Brownstown Speedway, which is one of the top 10 dirt track facilities here in the country. And there's a lot of competition that comes through Brownstown, especially the super late models, which we made the move straight to supers. Normally people go through street stocks, modifieds, and crate late models and then supers. But I mean, we didn't have the funding to go through all those classes. If we're going to do it once, we're going to do it right one time, or we're going to do it right, we're going to do it right one time. So we're like, always going get a full blown super. And that's where we've kind of been at the past couple of years here. We've traveled a lot in the Midwest with the, Lucas Oil late model series and the Road of Outlaw late model series. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is we don't really follow any tours full time. This past season we did run the Ultimate Heart of America late model series. We got third there, and we got third down in the Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Kentucky, which is a dirt track down there. But I mean, we just kind of run all over. We just kind of chase, the money or for fun, really. I still do some figure eight stuff. I actually race a Hornet from time to time too for fun. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. And so definitely pretty cool that we're going to Daytona, of all places,
Yeah, of course, you were already in Daytona testing with the Mullins team. What was that like to be down there testing at Daytona?
I mean, that whole experience was just awesome with, the ARCA Menards guys, and that I've, never been to a track that big. I've never been to a NASCAR track or an IndyCar track, really. I've been to the IMS here in Indianapolis one time, and that was just earlier this past year for Indy 500 qualifying, and that was my first ever time going to a track that big and seeing cars traveling that fast. So that was huge. Just driving outside the track, I'm like, holy cow! I'm gonna be on that track there. And we went and we have they have a 2007 Yates Ford Fusion with that Ilmor engine, and I'm used to driving a heavy car, the super late models on dirt, about 800, 900 horsepower, 2,300 pounds. But those stock cars, I mean, there was nothing like it. Yeah. But we went out there the first day, and William Mullins and Robert Bruce, the crew chief there, sat down and talked with us, and there were a couple other guys testing there with the Mullins, and they talked us through, and they're like, here's what we gotta do, here's what we can't do. And Kevin Belmont, who's our spotter, he did a fabulous job making sure we were all safe. He basically said, I'm in the brain, you guys are the ones driving the car. And they were saying, don't think, that you don't do the thinking. The driver does no thinking. It's all the spotter. You just listen to the spotter and you'll get out of there okay. And I went out there, and that's what I did. And I come from dirt racing. We don't have spotters. We don't have two-way communication. We don't have, actually, dirt cars don't even have mirrors. So that whole experience, just getting on track there with the ARCA Menard series, and those cars were just fantastic. I mean, it was I've called it once in a lifetime opportunity, but looked like we could go back there again this February for the Lucas Oil 200 presented by General Tire. So that is definitely pretty neat.
Yeah, you're doing making sure you're getting all the plugs in there. That's very good. That's very good. And you don't even have PR reps, so that's awesome. So let's talk about what your other plans are. I know that you're going to be at Daytona for Mullins Racing, but what are the rest of your plans? I know that you guys kind of teased that a little bit in the announcement on your Facebook page.
I say, yeah, we don't want to announce too much. We don't want to jump the gun here. As of now, the only thing that's on paper is Daytona, but I'm a dirt track boy. The ARCA Menard series does go to a couple dirt tracks throughout the season.
In Springfield.
Yes, and which I've never been on a dirt track. That's a flat mile track, I do believe those tracks are.
Yep.
And I've been to half mile Florence, which is like really a fast dirt track. There, I believe it's a half mile and like 30 some degrees of banking, which is wicked. So that'd definitely be pretty cool to go there. I think would be pretty competitive. I know a lot of dirt guys actually do go there and run and actually find themselves being competitive, Allgaier and Unzinger, and so might try to get something in the works for that. But as of now, it's just Daytona. We're definitely going to stick though with our dirt program, and that's where I came from, was small grassroots dirt track and asphalt racing. So go and run the speedrome from time to time still too. Yeah, but as of now, for the ARCA Menard series, it's just Daytona. Hopefully it becomes something little more than that, but as of now, it's Daytona.
Okay. So let's talk about what are we going to expect at Daytona? What are you going? I know you were testing out there, but what's it going to be like once you start racing? Do you know what to expect?
I mean, I'm looking at it just as another race, because that's the only way I can look at it, really. If I look at it as it's Daytona, I'm going to get psyched out, I'm going to get nervous, and I don't need to be nervous, I did some drafting practice there this past weekend with the ARCA Menard Series test, and most only had 3-4 cars, but still, that was my first time drafting. We don't get up to speeds like that and anything I've been in, so that was a really cool experience just to be able to go out there and practice drafting. But as far as my expectations go, that car with Willie, Willie's a heck of a driver. He knows how to make it through. And I've been watching a lot of film and practicing a lot. I do a lot of iRacing stuff too. I've been practicing a lot on that, because there is no way to really practice for Daytona, except for running the actual race. But I mean, look at guys like Willie, look at guys like Bobby Gearhart. They're always at the end. They're always finishing these races, and that's not by luck. They have a method to their madness. So I've been going back and watching film and trying to figure out exactly what these guys do, and I'm going to try to replicate that the best I can. But Willie's, he's got second there with this car in that Yates chassis, even though it's 14, 15-year-old chassis. He's still been pretty competitive at Daytona with it. So I consider I'm a rookie. It's gonna be our first time really racing a heavy stock car like this on a track this big. I'm not really sure what to expect. I think we can finish the race. I know it's a good, reliable car. It's got the Ilmore, which is an awesome program too. I was, got to meet a lot of the Ilmore guys there during the test, and the way they handle things and operate things is just awesome. But I think we can finish the race, and I would not be surprised if we pull off a top 10 or top 15 run. This is the biggest race for the ARCA Menard series and those guys. So, I was looking at an expected entry list. I think they're around 30 to 35 cars. So I think we can definitely find ourselves staying out of trouble, especially early on. I think I've been talking to Willie. And this is the first time the Mullins have had 2 cars too, like on their race. So it's good to know that we're going in there with someone we can trust and work with. And, that's one thing I like about Willie. He's got a pretty fast speedway car himself, super speedway car himself. So I'm expecting some pretty good results, hopefully, from the two of us.
All right. Well, Brayton Laster, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and good luck at Daytona.
All right, thank you guys. Definitely going to try to give a run for my money. So.